Since it's 73, 81, 90, 99, and 39.08. Support below at 57, 50, 42, 35, and 28. All right. All right, market. Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market. We are using our levels that we just gave out, in addition to any price action opportunities, to give us our setups that we might use to trade. And the combination of setups and levels and opportunities give us, we're looking for about, I would say, maybe 4 to 5 trades on average a day. Yesterday we had a little bit more than that, as the market was a little bit more volatile and some movement in the market, so we had more opportunity. We're always at the mercy of the volatility on any given day, and obviously we have to take that in consideration. Right now we are looking for about 2 or 3 points on our rotations for our stops and profit targets minimally. Obviously, we can take a little bit more or less out of that, depending on how you manage those trades and how many contracts you trade and how much risk you are willing to take. Everybody here has different risk tolerances, obviously, and so we try to you have to understand your risk tolerance and trade it accordingly, as we were just kind of hanging around that pivot area here. So we shall see what happens. All right, just coming down here now to 57. Again, welcome to some new folks that are here. If you have any questions as to what we do here, just make sure you put them in the chat box, and you will see our levels in the chat here in a couple minutes as we get them typed up. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat, as there they are. Those are the levels that we are going to use as a guide to the day. And again, we can tweak those and adjust those depending on what the market tells us and how the price action creates itself. And so that's what we do here on an everyday basis. We put together a methodology that helps us find those levels and also how to trade those areas when they get to them. And everybody here, again, trades differently, like I keep saying. So these are just a guideline. You have to incorporate your own risk tolerances into these levels and into the opportunities that you have when you're trading. As we quickly come down here to the 57 area, a little volatility here in the market. Again, the first couple bars always a little bit more volatile, as you can imagine. Work in this 57 area here just a little bit. All right, nice little 400 lot there, trying to have to get through. As you can see, it stands out, right, if you're looking at it. But you know what they say about those orders there. They put orders in the market to get taken out. Markets like to take out big orders, as we have a nice rotation here against our 57 first support area. Got us a good 2.5 points on this little trade there. If you were scalping, that's what we're trying to do here. We got support. Obviously, support is a little buying opportunity, I should say, and that gave us a nice rotation there against our 57 area. And again, if you're trading multiple contracts, there's ways to be able to manage those trades to be able to take more than 2 or 3 points, as you can see here. Nice rotation there against our 70 area, and nice little pop back up. Again, these are the opportunities that you're looking for in the market to give us these nice rotations and being, like I said, the ability to take more than 2 or 3 points on the trades. And again, that all depends on how you manage those trades accordingly. Nice rotation there against our first support area and coming right up here to our 73 area as well now. Again, I wish we would have told you that it was going to go straight up and straight down, or vice versa, and we're getting a nice rotation here against our 73 area as well. All right, nice little opportunities there for us if you are trading. Obviously, I wish I could have told you it was going to go down to 57 and pop all the way back up here to our first resistance area, but I'm not that good. But hopefully some of you were able to hang in there with some longs, because that happened very, very quickly, and you really took no heed on those whatsoever. Nice little opportunity there for us if you are trading with us, and we're getting a nice little rotation here against our 73 area if you just waited for that opportunity. So that's what we try to do here on an everyday basis. We're just trying to find areas that we feel the market will give us an opportunity to trade it, give us an area where we can take some take advantage of the ebbs and flows in the market, as we believe markets don't go straight up or straight down. Consequently, gives us those opportunities to trade. All right, so nice little quick opportunities here for us. First few minutes of the day. Again, the next level on the resistance side is up at the 81 area. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. You also we'll repeat the levels again for those of you who might have just stepped in here a little bit late. You'll see the levels that we gave out this morning. Our first support level down at 57 and the first resistance here both got triggered and gave us a nice little scalping opportunity at both those levels, even if you just trade them for what they are. Let's see here. At 9 o'clock, ISM Manufacturing Index is coming out. And then at 1 o'clock this afternoon, if you're still around, we have FOMC minutes that are going to be released. FOMC minutes is the discussion that they had prior to their in their last meeting, prior to deciding to raise rates only 50 basis points instead of the 75 that they were talking about. All right. Again, if you are trading multiple contracts and you have the ability to scale out and scale in, you are getting filled here and taking a little bit more than the 2 or 3 points that we're hoping we can get. So nice little opportunities there for us. Against our first support level, and then our first resistance area up here as well. Trust me, I wish I could tell you it works so perfectly every time, but it doesn't. Sometimes we do have to work a level and manage it, and sometimes we have to take losses against them, or sometimes we even scratch them. It all depends on how the price action is against a certain area. All right, so now we have to we've got ISM manufacturing coming out here at the top of the hour, a little fundamental number that might affect the market's volatility. So we don't like to trade when we know there's numbers coming out. So be mindful of that. That's going to be out there in about top of the hour here. Market trying to continue to uptick here. Next resistance area we have is up at the 81 area. All right, continue to rally here a little bit, looking at the 81 area. All right, coming up here to 79 and change, 78 and change, coming back off. We do have a number in about 15 minutes or so keep that in mind if you're trading. We have a little rotation, right? Very, very, very volatile here in the market. Got to pick our spots. We really didn't have, I mean, if you're a little aggressive, maybe you were buying the pivot area here, but otherwise not really doing much. Kind of flat right now. We had 81 as a little resistance. Got up to 78, 75 up there, and then came off. So not really, kind of flat. We didn't have a buying opportunity there up on top. So we're just kind of watching this, and this is where we have to be able to stay away from these kind of moves that occur, show up out of nowhere. You have a 5-minute bar that encompasses the whole last 15, 20 minutes. So it's kind of a crazy little, that's what the market does these days. Staying out of trouble is very important, and not getting caught up in the wrong move here. And that's why we have to try to be a little bit patient and wait for opportunities to present themselves before we jump in. We already traded the 57 area on the downside now, and so we're looking, next level that we're looking at is 50. Now you can get these moves here intraday like this in the last 5 minutes, as you can see here, when somebody can say something, maybe there's some news that comes out and we're not privy to it right away, and so you have these moves. It would have been nice to get up to 81 and make this little quick move to the downside, but again, we did not get up there. So we were kind of flat and just kind of waiting. And that's basically how we have to try to wait for opportunities, and then try to take advantage of them when the market presents itself with it for us. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. As you can see there, the levels are out there for us in the chat. All right. Very, very choppy in here right now. Kind of moving all over the place. Let's see, after closing out the year in which the S&P 500 nearly dropped 20%, Wall Street extended its gloomy demeanor into the start of 2023, the stocks edging lower amid retreats in some high-profile names. NASDAQ led the declines among the major averages, closing down 0.8%. S&P fell 0.4%, and the Dow finished fractionally lower, as mentioned in recent editions of the Wall Street Journal. Volatility is likely to remain a big theme for markets this year as economic uncertainty lingers and each data point becomes an opportunity for a clearer picture. The market stumbled on 2023 on the first trading day as the markets awaited Wednesday's release of the December FOMC minutes. Again, those are going to be released at 1 o'clock today. These are Chicago times. The price action indicates that the market sentiment is in a continuation of the hawkish squawking from the central bank. Meanwhile, industrial and agricultural commodity prices are mostly lower, while gold, silver, platinum prices have increased. Energy, the worst sector performance of the season, falling 3%, 3.6%. After crude oil dropped to around $77 a barrel, though tech was also notably declined. 6 of the 11 S&P segments finished today lower, but the futures linked to benchmark index turned green overnight, and that's where we're green this morning. Tesla has suffered additional downward pressure on Tuesday, continuing its slide It forced the stock sharply lower during December, hurt by disappointing delivery. Shares of Elon Musk electric vehicle maker plunged another 12% to another 52-week low of 108. Tesla has tanked 73% over the past year. Apple also staged a notable retreat in shares, plunging 4% after following the news of cutting production levels of the MacBook and Apple Watch. Things are not looking too good. They're all over the place, right? All right, we're just kind of hanging here. Got down to 59 area there and popped back up. Kind of, this is like I like to call this the no trade zone right now because it's just chopping around here a little bit. Do have a number coming out here in about 9 minutes. We'll see if that adds any volatility to the market. Really don't have any good resistance up until the 81 area up on top and the 50 area on the bottom. That's our next support level. And kind of in the middle here, you have to be a little bit mindful of this. The movement or could get a little bit crazy if you're going to just guess what it's going to do. We don't have really any price action opportunities right now. So instead of guessing, we like to just wait for the opportunities to present themselves. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Yeah, we don't like to retake a level. There are occasions, though, where we might go retest the level, right? That's what you're, I guess, asking. Usually, depending on the price action, usually I'm not looking to retest the level and saying that I'm going to take it again. But that's not a blanket statement. It all depends on the price action and how it hit that level and came off. So it's not always the case, but probably I would say 90% of the time, I would say that I don't usually would take a retest of a level that already got triggered. But again, it's not 100% no. There are certain situations where we have to rethink that. All right, we're just kind of hanging around our pivot area here, right? At 65, kind of found a little home to hang out in. Obviously, we are at the mercy of volatility, so we have to consequently wait and see what happens. Let's see here. Talk about the statement that is widely expected. Sam SBF, the disgraced co-founder of CEO and now bankrupt FTX cryptocurrency exchange, is pleaded not guilty to all criminal charges in federal court. The one-time billionaire, isn't he like 20 something? Entered his plea in 8 criminal counts ranging from wire fraud to conspiracy to pursue money laundering before a U.S. district judge. The news comes shortly after 2 of his associates pleaded guilty to fraud charges and agreed to cooperate with the U.S. prosecutors to build a case against SBF. In her plea, one of the defendants admitted to conspired with others to use billions of dollars customers' funds from SBF's failed trading platform. If convicted, SBF is accused of defrauding investors and FTX customers, could face up to 115 years in prison. And we are just kind of hanging around our 65 here, so that don't have any opinion. To basically just, it could go either way here. So Consuelo, we have to be a little bit patient. You gotta wait till something happens. Meanwhile, U.S. financial regulators in their first statement since the FTX meltdown advised banks exposed to cryptocurrency sector to ensure that their activities were legally permissible. The Federal Reserve, FDIC, and the Office of Controller of the Currency said in the joint statement they believe that issuing, holding cryptos on an open, public, and decentralized network is highly unlikely to be inconsistent with safe banking practices. They said banking organizations are neither prohibited nor discouraged from providing banking services to customers of any specific class or type. The group is revealing how banks can engage in crypto activity while ensuring safety, customer protection, and compliance with the law. I would say that's a lot of do not trade that stuff. That's what basically it's telling them to do. Or if they are going to trade it, here are restrictions, right? Very tough. Crypto, I mean, like I've never, I've never gotten into it, and I just don't understand it. So I've stayed away from it. But it is, from a technical point of view, it's kind of hanging around here. It's basing out at this level here, about 16,000, where it's at right now. 16,000 level, right? Technical point of view, maybe he's just finding it's consolidating here. So better than 64,000 if you wanted to jump in, you know, just to have it in your portfolio a little bit to diversify. If you're, yeah, I guess it's a good place if you're, I mean, who knows what's going to happen. I'm just saying that I never got into it because I didn't understand it, but, you know, some people say that they want to do it because it's an asset and it's out there, it's trading, so maybe you should have some, just like gold, right? But again, gold, you know what gold is. Crypto, you have to go mine it on a computer. Like what? I guess it's beyond my comprehension. Mining it on a computer. Okay. Let's see here. So we're going to wait for this number to be released here momentarily. We'll see what happens. You can see that the ladder ticket has lightened up a little bit. There's 10 lots up and down the ladder ticket. You know that something's up if you see the ladder ticket here being depleted of bids and offers. You can see how it's very, very thinned out here, right? There's usually 40, 50, 60 lots in each price. Now there's only 10, 20, right? There's 100 lot in there for somebody who's a little bit wants to get hit. But anyway, yeah, but you can see how if you don't know that there's a number going to be released, this is one way of finding out, right? And, you know, you can lighten, you know, this is, and there it is. There's the number that's released, and it's going all over the place here. Nobody knows where it's at. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. Okay. I guess that's not good. 50, if you're trading this, we got a 50 is a next support level. Again, be careful here, right? You can see here how it's ripping around. So if you're going to take this trade, you're going to have to understand the risk, or otherwise don't trade it. Wait for it to settle down here a little bit. All right. Crazy. Got down to 53 there. You're trading, you can see our green band is down at 54, got down to 53 and change. Pop back up. If you were very, very aggressive trading this right now, that's where you were at. Got down to 52.75 there. Again, you could see that the volatility was, something was going to happen. If you didn't know that there was a number coming out, you could tell by the ladder ticket that there was something brewing, because they lightened that there were no bids and offers, basically. And then the number comes out, they overreact, and now we're trying to trade any overreaction to anything. We just don't know. We just knew we had support there at 50, and we got down to 53 and then popped back up. So again, if you were going to trade it, different ways of managing that. You could trade it smaller, you could not trade it at all. You could wait till the volatility settles down here a little bit. Many ways of handling risk, and just giving you different ideas. And everybody here has different ways of handling risk. So there's not one right or wrong way here. All right, we got right up to our pivot there and coming back off of it again. Very, very choppy. Again, we are patient here. We be a little bit patient here and wait for opportunities. It's hard to try to trade this if you think you can actually trade this, and you can get lucky here once in a while, but try to pick a bottom or try to pick a top. But that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to actually find areas that are important to us to trade. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat as we try to deal with this number. We got 81 on the upside here. Wow, look at this move. Going all the way down to, okay, if you scaled in there at 80, you got filled very nicely there. I had those numbers in from before, and I got that 43 lot traded up there. So hopefully you got filled up there. And if you did scale in, again, we suggest scaling in. Obviously, we're not going to be perfect. I keep saying that over and over again. Just, you gotta, if you did scale in there at 80, you got filled, and nice little rotation there off of that. And if you're not trading because of the volatility was a little bit too great, then that's fine. So as you can see here, Pat put in the ISM manufacturing number, came in at kind of where it was expected. The JOLTS number, which is a jobs opening and labor turnover number, better than expected. Again, better than expected is not good from the Fed's job openings, though, is better than expected. Is that like a good thing or a bad thing? Right? It means there's more jobs available. Maybe people got fired. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know what that means. So, but again, we don't try to figure out what it means. So basically, at 5-minute bar encompassed the whole range so far this morning. So we can see how volatile these numbers could get sometimes, and we try to stay away from them. We cannot react as fast as computers and those algorithms react to numbers. More jobs are available, yeah, but is that like a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, I guess unemployment will stay low. Is that what it's saying? I don't. To try to understand what that means is that a good thing or a bad thing? People are still getting laid off. You're hearing more layoffs. My daughter works at Salesforce, and she got an email this morning saying that there were going to be job cuts. They're cutting 10%. Where is that? That's a nice way to wake up this morning. Let's see, I've been thinking a lot about how we came to this amount. Within the next hour, employees who are initially affected by this decision will receive an email letting them know. Basically, they're saying that we've made a very difficult decision to reduce our workforce by about 10%, mostly over the next coming weeks. So Salesforce is cutting 10%. So yeah, a lot of these companies are, you hear about them all the time that they're cutting jobs. So, which again, this is what happens in this backdrop of where we're at. Right, the job openings during the month of December, probably. And again, there any job related number that's released that has effect as we quickly come down here to the 50 area. As you can see, I got down here to a little lower than that, down to 46. Again, if you're keeping your stops in place, obviously we're not going to keep love any trade we put on as we continue to downtick here. And if you are nervous about trading the volatility, which I totally understand, because sometimes, it moves so fast that, and I've also come to the conclusion that we cannot compete with the algorithms that are out there. So I don't, if you don't like the volatility at this time, things will settle down, and you can wait for it to settle down and trade it when it's a little bit more calmer. But we're still trading the residual effect of these numbers that are released. Next support level we have is down at the 42 area. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We're just trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market here. We're looking at the 42 area next. All right, come down here. Need a downtick here, coming down to the 42 area now. Again, if you're a little bit nervous about trading the volatility now, that's all right. Just be patient and wait for it to settle down a little bit. A nice little rotation here against that 42 area. All right. Well, we do get those quick rotations off of those areas, right? Both stops and profits. That's what happens. They move quick. So, all right. So we did go right down to that 42 area and a nice little rotation off of it. Got down to 2.25 there. Hopefully you were scaling in around that area. Obviously, if you have 42 right now, it'd be not be a little bit tenuous about taking it if you just had 42. Basically, the level that work here for us. And then we're looking down at the 35 area next. Well, this number has created some nice moves here, basically covering our whole range since the number is out. And again, how people determine what's what is kind of what these numbers mean. It's kind of what it's is kind of hard to figure out, right? So we don't try to figure out what they mean. So next support level down here is a 35. All right, we're looking at the 35 area next as some support. Very, very volatile. If the volatility is a little bit too great, you don't feel like trading it, then don't. Just be patient and wait. Obviously, any kind of employment or jobs related kind of number creates some volatility in the market. Okay, well, we got down to 650 there. Pop back up. So depending on how you scale in, be a little bit careful down there at 35. All right, well, we got down quickly down to 36 and a half there and pop back up. So if we go back down and we have 35, it's a little bit more tenuous right now. We would have liked to get down to 35 and rotate up, but we just kind of missed out on that little opportunity there. So if we go back and retest it, be a little bit careful. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. We don't mind questions. All right, nice rotation back up here. If you're a little aggressive, maybe a little resistance around the 55 area, but keep your stops in place. All right, the market rotating back up there. We had the 35 area of support, got down to 650 and then popped back up. Obviously, like I said, right now 35 is not support anymore. A little resistance around the 55 area if we get up there. And then I would say keep your stop in place if we get back up there. We do have a couple of Fed speaks that were talking. I think created some volatility that was not on my list here, but I'm seeing some effects to that they were saying some stuff earlier this morning. So we have no other economic reports, but they will have the FOMC minutes to be released at 1 o'clock Chicago time. So that is what the market's going to look at next. Low resistance around the 55 area. Otherwise, be careful there at 35. All right, again, sometimes we get into this mode where we are not going anywhere too fast and get into a range. And like I said earlier, this is like my no trade zone area over here. So we have to be a little bit patient. We got a little resistance around the 55, but make sure you keep your stop in place. All right, well, we got up to 52, 3 area there, and we had resistance around 55. Couldn't get up there. Now we're coming back off of it here a little bit. All right, we're rotating a little bit lower. Get support. Be careful there at 35. Like I said, we got levels down below here. The next level on the downside we have is 28. And I'll give you a couple more. We got 21, 14, and then 04. 21, 14, and then 04 on the downside, in addition to the levels, in addition to the 28 on the downside that we have. So below, next level on the downside is down at 28, and below that, we've got 21 and then 14 and then 04. And if you look at the chat, there are the additional levels in the chat box for us. Thanks there, Don. I appreciate that. Hey Don, can you get on here for a minute? Can you jump in here for the next half hour?
All right. What you need?
I got some family stuff I gotta take care of right now. I'm about to leave a little early, but I was wondering if you can just take over for the next half hour or so in case something happens.
Sure.
All right, for those of you who may be new to this room, Don's been with us for a long time, with me for a while, and understands the methodology and what we're trying to do here. So he's very capable of jumping in here and filling in for me in case we do get something to happen here over the next hour or so, or half an hour. But again, as the day goes on, the volatility gets sucked out of the market, and then unless some news comes out or something creates some volatility, like later on this afternoon, we have the FOMC minutes. Pretty much going to be kind of quiet here. You get that afternoon trade; it's very, very slow. You have to be very, very careful when you're trading that stuff in the afternoon. The dynamics definitely change as the day goes on. Hi, Don. I'm going to give it to you. Thanks a lot again for jumping in here for me for a little bit.
No problem.
And I'm glad you had a good morning.
Yeah. I'm just twiddling my thumbs now. I don't even know why I'm still sitting here.
I know. Thank God you're still sitting there. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everybody's had a good morning. I was sitting here reading the paper. I don't even have any idea where we're even at. We're trading at 49. At 35, got down to what, 36.50, somewhere in there. Yesterday, that 54 was a very important spot. Today, I don't know how it's going to react around it. It's coming back up into our blue band area. Let's see. What was that? December 22nd, we had a big down day. And this is the seventh trading day that we have not broke out of that range so far. The high of that bar was like 39.1975, and the low was down at 37.8850. And we're trading just about right in the middle of it. So really, the last 7 days have been inside days, and there's just other than that, we're just trading the levels. Right now, we're in kind of a no man's zone, or a no trade time, so to speak. If anyone has any questions, just feel free to ask. Don't know if I'll know the answer, but I'd be more than happy to ask. And Pat, an inside day is just another day. It's just I don't look at it as we trade every day the same. We're trading off of these levels. I think a lot of people get the misconception that we buy a position and we hold a position. I mean, I took this course from Saul many years ago, and it was like, okay, what is our goal? Our goal here is to scalp. We're not, this is, the S&P is not a buy and hold instrument. You can do it on occasion. So you buy it and just manage your money at that point, or sell it, manage your money. You just got to control your stops. And, a very good example this morning was that 57 area. It was a really nice spot to jump in on this thing. And it did what it was supposed to do. But other than that, it just, for me, I'm a good chop trader. And I say I'm a good chop trader based on it doesn't run off and leave me, and I got big stops, so my losses are usually contained. And it usually does what I think it's supposed to do. But no, it just, when you look at the chart and you look at inside days, it just, there's not a breakout one way or the other. We're just trading sideways. Now, we already know what the Feds have done, so I've never understood the Fed minutes. They keep reading between the lines. It's kind of like, I just get out of its way and let it trade. Or you've got to trade it. And I took a class one time, and the guy, he had two analogies he loved to trade the Fed. And he said, one of them's the Corvette trade, and the other one is the Volkswagen trade. He said, if you're not fast enough, he says, just wait and then take the Volkswagen trade. But he says, I like the Corvette trade, and he was usually pretty good at it. He just, when it broke, he jumped in. He had a lot on it, and it went. And he was unloading out, going the direction he thought it was supposed to go. And for him, he was very successful at it. But he was good. And granted, I don't have near the experience that Saul and a lot of these other folks do. And I have seen a lot of folks trade and do really, and like Saul says, I can't trade that way. I wish I could, but I can't. It'd be so simple if all we had was, okay. And basically that's what we do have. That it's just that to get it right in our minds, I call it an ABC trade. This is where we get in. This is where our stop goes. This is where we get out. That's it. And basically that's what we're doing. It's just that we have to do it on a little bit faster basis. You don't have a lot, especially if you don't have a big account and you're not trading 10 lots or 5 lots or something like that. If you're just trading 1s and 2s and 3s, it's tough, because you'd like to have 3 points on a 3 lot. But it doesn't always give you that. So you have to take. You may have some. You may have some off at 1.5, and some off at 2. Then you may try and hold the third one. I get aggravated a lot of times. I'll get out because that's where I see, okay, we should get back to this level here or this spot here within the chart. And I'm in the position and it takes off and goes up there and gets out. Then it just keeps blowing. It's kind of like, yeah, I didn't leave a runner on, but I can't complain because I made money. The only gripe that I have is I could have made more. And that's the little gremlin that comes along and jumps on your back and causes everybody to lose a lot more than what they make. And I look at it like this. They're kind of like streetcars. There'll be another one along in a minute. Just and if we're trading off of a 5-minute chart. Well, you want a lot of trades, crank that chart speed down to 1 minute. You really want a lot of trades, crank it down to 30 seconds or 15 seconds. But you've got to be able to make up you don't have time to make up your mind. You just have to do it. And when you're wrong, get out. I mean, you can overtrade tremendously by doing that. I'll be right back. Yeah, it looks like we made a little move while I walked out. Maybe that's what I should have done earlier. Our pivot is at 65. We've got a little bit of resistance up there at 66, 67 area. Not much, but some. Well, for you pivot players, you're getting paid off. We got up to 65, 75. We got back above that 54, it took off.